Subscribe my channel for G and NEET.
Hello students, good morning all of you. Today in our lesson, I want to explain the chapter waves. They are very important for JEE and IIT NEET. So students, before going to that, you have to subscribe our channel and like, share to your friends. Thank you. At first, we want to know what is a wave. Here, a wave represents the propagation of disturbance from one place to another by the vibration of the particles in a medium. Once again, a wave represents the propagation of disturbance from one place to another by vibration of the particles in a medium. Here the wave represents the propagation of disturbance from one place to another by the vibration of the particles of a medium. So whenever the disturbance occurs in a medium, then only the waves was produced. By the producing of waves, the energy will be transferred one place to another place in a medium. So this is the wave. Now coming to the types of waves. So there are two types of waves are there, that is mechanical waves and non-mechanical waves. So mechanical waves is meaning that which waves are moving or transferred by the medium or through the medium. So a waves which can travel through the medium is known as the mechanical waves. So a wave can travels by the vacuum is called non-mechanical waves. So mechanical waves are traveled through the medium, non-mechanical waves are traveled through the vacuum. So here mechanical waves are two types. So in that is transverse and longitudinal waves. So here non-mechanical means, example, it is the where all the electromagnetic waves, EM waves, either it is radio waves or microwaves or X-rays or light waves also one of the type of the electromagnetic wave. But here the light waves are example of the transverse waves. So here we need to explain that. Right. Here these two waves can be called as progressive waves also. Progressive. So what is meant by progressive? Progressive waves. A wave which can be moves always in the forward direction. A wave which can be moves always in a forward direction. So forward direction లో మూవ్ అయ్యేటువంటి అన్ని waves ని కూడా progressive waves అంటారు. So here the transverse waves and longitudinal waves are always moves in a forward direction at which they can be started. ఎక్కడైతే స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయో అక్కడ నుంచి కంపల్సరీగా ఫార్వర్డ్ డైరెక్షన్లోనే మూవ్ అవుతాయి అనమాట. వాటిని ట్రాన్స్వర్స్ వేవ్స్ లేదా లాంగిట్యూడినల్ వేవ్స్ అంటారు. ఈ రెండింటిని కలిపి ప్రోగ్రెసివ్ వేవ్స్ అని పిలుస్తారు. ఈ ప్రోగ్రెసివ్ వేవ్స్ మెకానికల్ వేవ్స్కి సంబంధించినవి. ఇవేంటంటే మీడియం కావాలి, ఇవి ట్రావెల్ చేయాలంటే మీడియం కంపల్సరీగా కావాలి. నౌ వీఆర్ స్టడీయింగ్ అబౌట్ ది మెకానికల్ వేవ్స్. సో ఇన్ ఏ మెకానికల్ వేవ్స్ the matter will be oscillating and the energy will be transferred through the medium. So the particles in a matter should be oscillates in a mechanical waves. So the type of oscillations are going to be called as SHM motion. So the particles must have SHM motion in the mechanical wave. Whenever the particles are vibrates, then the energy will be transferred through the medium. So that is the mechanical wave. In that transverse waves and longitudinal waves. Now we are coming to know about the transverse waves. From the transverse waves, the direction of propagation of the wave is perpendicular to the wave is perpendicular to the direction of vibration of the particles. Direction of vibration of the particles. Vibration of the particles. So then the wave is called transverse wave. Then the wave is called transverse. So once again, from the transverse waves, the direction of propagation of the wave is perpendicular to the direction of vibration of the particles. So the propagation of the wave is perpendicular to the direction of the vibration of the particles. These are called transverse waves. So the transverse waves will be looks like, so here there is a transverse wave. So here there is a, we have to draw the schematic diagram of transverse wave. So this is a stretched string, let it be. When a transverse wave will be formed in the string, then it can be shows in this direction. So here this is the direction of the wave should passing. So this is the direction. So this is the starting point and this is the ending point. So here the direction of the transverse waves, direction of the propagation of the waves is perpendicular to the direction of the vibration of the particles. So these are the particles are here in this way, it will be vibrates, and so these are the perpendicular to the propagation of the waves. So these are perpendicular. So here there is 90, here there is 90, here there is 90. So this is the perpendicular direction. So this type of waves are called transverse waves. In these transverse waves there are, so this is the mean point. So this is the mean position. All the particles which are lying at the mean position, so these are called mean points. So here the displacement of the wave, so here there is maximum displacement and it will be decreases and it will be reaches zero displacement, and it will be here, this is the maximum displacement and it will be decreases by 0 and it is the maximum displacement. So this is the process of wave to transfer in the medium. So the maximum displacement points are called crest points, CREST, crest. So this can be simply denoted as C. So the maximum displacement in downward direction, the points are trough points. So both are maximum points. So remember it. The maximum displacement points in the upward direction, that is crest. The maximum displacement of the particles in downward direction, that is trough. Crest, trough. Here also crest. So here also these are the zero displacement points. And here this is the trough. So crest, trough, crest, trough, crest, trough. So these type of crest and troughs will be formed in alternative method in a transverse waves. So here the wavelength should be defined by the distance between any two successive crest or trough is called wavelength. So here there are two trough points is called, the distance between this trough and this trough point is called wavelength, and also the distance between these 2 points, crest and crest. So any two successive, either it is the distance between two crest points or it is the distance between two trough points, is known as the wavelength of the transverse waves, right? So the combination of crest and trough will make up the complete wave. The combination of the crest and trough will make the complete wave. And one more point, it is all the particles in the medium will executes SHM in the medium. SHM. So with the it can have with the same amplitude, same amplitude, and time period and same wavelength and wavelength. So here all the particles in the transverse waves will execute the SHM with the same amplitude and time period and wavelength. So here already you know about the amplitude, time period and wavelength. So here, so this is the transverse wave, we have to note it as, so this is the transverse wave. So these upper highest displacement points are known as crest and lower highest displacements are trough, and this is crest and this is trough. So the distance between any two crest points are known as the wavelength, or the distance between any two trough points are known as wavelength. So the distance between two crest points is equal to the distance between two trough points, that is the wavelength. So here the meaning of the amplitude is the maximum displacement of the particle from its mean position. So this is the mean position. All the zero positions are called mean point. So the wave which can be started, that point it is known as the mean position. So from this is the displacement. Here there is maximum displacement, that is amplitude, and here there is the maximum displacement, that is amplitude. Here there is the maximum displacement, that is amplitude. Here this is the maximum displacement, that is amplitude. So here the maximum displacement of the particle from its mean position is called amplitude. The amplitude of the particles in the transverse waves is same. So here I want to write the time period. You know that the time taken to complete one wave, one complete wave. So one complete wave means, so here started from here, this is the complete wave. One crest and one trough, the combination of crest and trough will be complete wave, right? So wavelength, the distance between two crests or two troughs. So these are the points to remember in the transverse waves. And one more to remember, these transverse waves are undergo polarization. So polarization will be studying in your next classes. So the polarized light rays, light waves are also belongs to the example of transverse waves. And finally the most important point, only the transverse waves only can propagate solids and on the surface of the liquids. So these can be traveled, the transverse waves will be traveled in the solid materials and also on the surface of the liquids. These are the properties to study about the transverse waves. Example of the transverse waves. So these are the light waves are the examples of the transverse waves, light waves. And here a wave along stretched string, a wave along stretched string, a wave along stretched string is also belongs to the transverse wave. So this is a stretched string. So whenever we have to plucking it, then the waves will be forms. So this is the wave. So these waves are all also known as transverse waves. Here coming to the longitudinal waves. So longitudinal waves are also belongs to mechanical waves. The particles of the medium vibrates parallel to the direction of propagation of the wave is called longitudinal wave. Here in the transverse waves, the particles of the medium vibrates perpendicular to the direction of the propagation. Here it can be vibrates parallel to the direction of the propagation of the wave. Okay. So sound waves are the examples of the longitudinal waves, and also pressure waves, So these are the examples of the longitudinal waves. So what are the formation of diagram of the longitudinal waves? So here we need to write where. So these are the high dense particles and low dense particles. High dense particles and low dense particles. The number of particles occupied in the certain place, if it is more, that is the crest point. So here that is nothing but compression point. And with which point the particles are occupied, less number of particles are occupied in the place, that is rarefaction. So rarefaction. So compression and rarefactions will be formed. So this is the compression, this is the rarefaction, this is the compression, this is the rarefaction, this is the compression. C for compression, R for rarefaction. Or here also, here we have to see in another way. So these are the more number of particles, the density of the particles is more, that is compression. The density of the particles is less, that is the rarefaction. The density of the particles is more, that is the compression. The density of the particles is less. So this is rarefaction, this is compression, rarefaction and compression. So these type of points will be formed in the longitudinal waves. So here the distance between any two compressions is called wavelength. The distance between any two compressions, or the distance between any two rarefaction is called wavelength. So here in the transverse waves, so this is the transverse wave we have to already observed. This is the crest point and this is the trough point. This is the crest point and this is the trough point. The distance between any two trough points is wavelength. The distance between any two crest point is wavelength. So here this is the transverse wave, this is the longitudinal wave. Here in a longitudinal wave, the crest and rarefactions will be formed in alternative method. Compression and rarefaction will be formed. So here, coming to the transverse waves, there are crest and trough points will be formed in the alternative method. Here also the particles in the medium will execute SHM, simple harmonic motion, and with the same amplitude, time period and wavelength. So the particles in the longitudinal waves are execute simple harmonic motion with the same amplitude, same time period and same wavelength. Already we have to explain in our previous types of waves. And one more important point is the longitudinal waves cannot undergoes polarization. So polarization, they cannot be polarization, but the transverse waves are polarized, right? And the another it is, they can be, the longitudinal waves can be travel through the solids, liquids and gases also. So here coming to the transverse waves, they can be only moving or travel through the solids and the surface of the liquids. But here coming to the longitudinal waves, they can be travel solids, liquids and gases also. Okay. Here one of the most important, the water waves are belongs to both longitudinal and transverse waves. So water waves are belongs to both longitudinal and transverse waves. This is the most important point you have to remember in NEET bits, right? So whenever we have to throw a stone into the pool of water, So then the waves will be formed. These type of waves are belongs to longitudinal and transverse waves. Okay. Now coming to the standing waves, or it will be called as stationary waves. So what are the standing waves? How standing waves will be formed? So here we need to take as a stretched string fixed at both ends. So this is the stretched string, so fixed at both ends. So this is a string. Whenever we have to plucking the perpendicular to the length of the string, so whenever we have to produce a plucking in the perpendicular distance of the perpendicular direction of the length of the wave, then the wave can be produced in this direction. So this is the wave which can be traveled by the stretched string, and it can be incident on the second end, and this is the fixed end. Then it can be reflected back and coming to the reverse direction, opposite direction, and overlapped on the first wave in this direction. So this is the first wave, and this is the first wave we have to see, and the wave which can be reflected back in opposite direction, it can be overlapped on the first wave. Then the resultant wave can be called as standing wave. This is the standing wave, right? So it means that whenever a wave can be produced in the stretched string, it can be reflected back in opposite direction and overlapped on the first wave. This type of formation of wave is known as the standing wave or stationary wave. These type of standing or stationary waves are formed in the open pipes or closed pipes. So these open and closed pipes are called as organ pipes. So for the better understanding, so here there is a wave at first started, that is let it be y1. The wave which can be started at second, that is y2. The y1 and y2 are superimposed to each other or overlapped on each other. Then the resultant wave should be formed, that is y it is equal y1 plus y2. So let the y1, the displacement of the first wave, that is a sin kx minus omega t. So this is the general equation, wave equation formation, and y2 let it be a sin kx plus omega t, a sin kx plus omega t. Whenever these two waves will be overlapped on each other, the resultant wave y should be, it is equal to y1 plus y2. Let it can be written as a sin kx minus omega t and plus a sin kx plus omega t. So for the trigonometry expansions, we can write that the resultant wave it is equal to a sin kx, Here x it is the displacement, or we can say that displacement of the particle. So here if the displacement of the particle it is 0, if x is equal 0, then amplitude or the resultant wave equation, so this is amplitude a of resultant wave, that is equal to a. Okay, if x is equal 0, then the amplitude of the resultant wave it is equal 0. So these 0 points, the 0 amplitude points are called as node points. This is very important, you have to remember. So what is a node point? The node points are known as the 0 displacement point or the 0 amplitude points. So it means, so the amplitude is 0 here at mean position. This is the amplitude 0, and these are all points are known as node points. Why it is called node point? At the node point, the displacement of the particle is 0. Due to the displacement 0, the amplitude should be also 0. What is meant by amplitude? The displacement traveled by the particles is called amplitude. If the displacement is 0, amplitude should be is equal to 0. Okay. if the displacement exit is equal to maximum, then the amplitude of the resultant wave, R for resultant, A for amplitude of the resultant wave, it is equal to A. So this is the maximum amplitude. For the maximum amplitude points are called as anti-node points, anti-nodes. In that here, so this is the maximum displacement point, and here this is the maximum displacement points. This is the maximum displacement. So these are the anti-node points. AN means anti-node. At the anti-node point, the displacement of the particle is maximum and the amplitude of the particle is maximum. If the amplitude is maximum, that is called antinode. If the amplitude is minimum, that is called node. So here we have to conclude that in the standing wave, there are node and antinode will be formed in alternative method. Node and antinode will be formed in alternative method. So here the resultant wave can be known as, so this is the one of the loop of standing wave or stationary wave. So this is the node point and this is the anti-node point. So the distance between any two node points is known as the wavelength. So this is the lambda. So the wavelength of the distance between any two node points or the distance between any two antinode points is called wavelength of the standing wave. So here the wavelength should be equal to half of the wavelength of the transverse waves. Lambda, it is equal lambda by 2. So it can be lambda by 2. It means the distance between, so this is the wave, we have to write the standing wave, and this is the node point, and this is the node point, and this is the node point, and this is antinode, and this is antinode. So the distance between any two node points, it is the lambda by 2. The wavelength should be lambda by 2. The distance between any two antinode points, this is the lambda by 2. Okay, the distance between node and antinode means from this point to this point or this point to this point. So this is the wave. Okay, this is the node point and this is the node point. So this can be lambda by 2, and the distance between node and antinode, lambda by 2 by 2, half of the wavelength. So then can be, so the distance between node and antinode, it is the lambda by 4. Lambda by 2 లో సగం ఉంటుంది మళ్ళీ. సో బై 2 చేస్తే lambda by 4 అనమాట. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ lambda by 4, and lambda by 4 plus lambda by 4 is equal lambda by 2. So here what I am saying, it is the distance between any two node points, it is lambda by 2. The distance between node and antinode, it is equal lambda by 4. So these are the points you have to remember in standing waves. Now we have to conclude about the wavelength. So already we seen that in a transverse waves. So this is the transverse wave. So this is the transverse wave, and here this is the longitudinal wave. So here what I need to say, it is these are the high denser particles, that is compressions, these are rarefactions, these are compressions, these are rarefactions. And coming to this is the transverse, this is the longitudinal, right? So these the amplitude maximum points, so these are the crest points, so these are the trough points, these are the crest points, right? The distance between any two crest points is lambda, this is the wavelength. The distance between any two compressions or rarefactions, that is the lambda. So here the lambda it is equal 2 pi radians. 2 pi radian. It is nothing but 2 pi radian, it is equal 360 degrees. 2 pi radian is equal 360 degrees. Right? This is the transverse wave, this is the longitudinal wave. So coming to the standing wave. So this is the stretched string, and this is the first wave moving in this direction. Whenever this can be incident on this, it can be reflected back and overlapped on each other and making another resultant wave. So that is standing wave. So here this is the fixed ends. So this is also fixed end. So this is the wave 1 y1, wave 2 y2. So y it is equal to y1 plus y2 here. So here in this there are 0 amplitude points or 0 displacement points is known as the minimum displacement points or 0 amplitude points. These are all called as node points. Node, it is 0 displace. It means displacement 0 or minimum displacement of the particles. So amplitude it is equal minimum, amplitude it is equal 0. These are the nodes. Here the point which is maximum amplitude, the maximum displacement of the particles. This is the maximum amplitude, is known as the antinode. So here this can be written as antinode, antinode, antinode. And this is the node and this is the node. So antinodes are maximum amplitude, right? Therefore node and antinodes will be formed in standing waves. So coming to the transverse waves, there are crest and trough points should be formed in alternative method. So this is crest and trough, crest and trough, crest and trough. So the wavelength should be 2 pi radians. Here also compression and rarefaction should be formed in longitudinal waves. The distance between any two crest points is lambda, or the distance between any two rarefactions is lambda. And next, in case of standing waves, the distance between any two node points or the any two antinode points, it is the wavelength. So here the wavelength in a standing wave is half of the wavelength of the transverse waves, wavelength by 2. So transverse waves లో ఎంతైతే wavelength ఉంటుందో అంత wavelength లో సగం ఉంటుంది, that is 2 pi by 2, it is equal to pi radian. So this is the wavelength of the standing wave. So coming to the transverse wave, the wavelength it is equal, lambda is equal 2 pi, but here lambda is equal pi. So this is the point you have to remember, where in case of transverse wave or in case of longitudinal wave, lambda is equal 2 pi radians, but in case of standing wave, lambda is equal pi radians. Here I need to clarify some of the doubts arised in our minds. So this is the one of the wave and this is another type. These are all different types of waves. The length of the string is same here. Here the wavelength of the string should be find out from this to this point. So but generally we have to clarify the distance between any two crest points or the distance between any two trough points we have to say. But here this is the crest point and there this is the trough point. So how can you find the wavelength of the string? So in the meaning, at the crest point, the particle should be started from its main position to the crest point. So here, so what I am saying, it is already lambda it is equal to 2 pi radians in case of transverse wave or longitudinal wave, right? In 2 pi radian there is, it is 360 degrees. Here the particle should be moves at this point, this is 90 degrees, and from this point to the particle will move this point, that is 90 degrees, and here this one to the maximum point reached, this is also 90 degrees and this is also 90 degrees, right? How many 90 degrees are there? 1 2 3 4. 90 degrees means, what is the 90 degree? So 2 pi is equal 360 by 4 means 5 by 2. So pi by 2 it is equal 90 degrees. Then we can write 4 into 5 by 2. 490 is here. What is the length of the wavelength? It is equal 4 into 5 by 2. It is equal 2 times. This is nothing but 2 pi radian. So here the wavelength of this string, it is 2 pi radian. Coming to this string, so we have to find easily what is the wavelength. The wavelength between the distance between any two crest points. So this is the wavelength here, lambda, right? We can say easily a wavelength should be crest point to crest point. So here to coming to the crest point, where this is 90 degrees and this is 90 degrees and this is 90 degrees and this is 90 degrees. 1 2 3 4. 490 degrees are 360 degrees. So then it can be written as 2 pi radian. Is it clear? So coming to this wave, here in this, so this is the starting point, it is the crest trough point, and it will be reached as mean position, it will be reached as highest position. This is crest point, this is the mean position. So here the particle should be travel 90 degrees, from this to this point 90 degrees, from this to this point 90 degrees and 90 degrees. There are 4 90s. The wavelength lambda should be, it is, how much it is? 4 into pi by 2, it is equal 2 pi radian, right? Coming to this, so here this is the starting point and this is the trough point and this is the crest point and this is the trough point. The distance between any two troughs is, it is equal lambda. So the total length of the string should be, here this is 5 by 2 and here this is 5 by 2. 5 by 2, 5 by 2, it is nothing but pi. So pi should be added to the 2 pi. Then lambda it is equal 3 pi here. This is the way to explain the wavelength of the waves. So this is most important, you have to remember. Here coming to this, what is the wavelength should be between crest and crest point? So here the wavelength it is equal 2 pi radian from the crest to crest. It is also equal to trough, right? So what is the wavelength between crest to trough or trough to crest? So ఒక crest నుంచి trough కి ఎంత దూరం ఉంటుంది? ఎంత దూరం ఉంటుంది? So the particle should be started from this point. So here there is 90 degrees. From this point, here there is 90 degrees. 90 plus 90, 180. 180 it is nothing but pi. So it means the distance of the crest to crest, half of the distance of the crest to crest. It means lambda it is equal 2 pi by 2. It is nothing but pi. Pi it is nothing but 180 degrees. Here 2 pi it is equal 360 degrees. Here pi it is equal 180 degrees. If the particle should be moves 180 degrees, therefore the distance between crest to trough point is 180 degrees, or trough to crest point it is 180 degrees, or pi radian, or it is equal pi radian. Here the distance between two crest points, it is 360 radian degrees, 360 degrees. Here 360 degrees. This is 2 pi radian and this is 2 pi radian. While we are coming to the standing wave, this is the node point and this is the antinode point and this is the node point and this is the antinode point. The distance between two node points, node to node, it is equal lambda by 2. The distance between antinode to antinode to antinode, it is also lambda by 2. So here the question it is, what is the distance or wavelength between node to antinode? Node to antinode, it is equal node to antinode. So this is the point. Here there is what, here it is, this is the node to node it is the lambda by 2, it is nothing but 180 degrees. This is 90 and this is 90, so 180. So here lambda by 2 it is nothing but 182 degrees. Here lambda by 2 is equal to 180 degrees. So here node to antinode 180 by 2, so this is 90 degrees. Here nothing but lambda by 2 by 2, it is 4, lambda by 4. Or antinode to node point, so this is also 90 degrees, it is equal lambda by 4. So here what I am saying it is the distance between any two node points it is 180 degrees, or any two antinode points it is 180 degrees. That is the wavelength of the standing wave, right? And the distance between node and antinode it is equal lambda by 4, or antinode and node it is equal lambda by 4. These are the points you have to remember. So students, this is the information about all the waves you have to remember. So if you like the video, please like, share and comment. Do not forget subscribe our channel. Thank you one and all.